Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to show you guys how I got mixes like this and like this, just with the simple desktop interface and headphones. I'm making this video because there was a few comments, two in particular, that were left on previous videos that cracked me up so hard that I had to make a video kind of responding to them. And the first one was left on the comment section of the video I talked about using the EdS technique on your amp sims. And he said, but you might as well just use a Neve preamp and it blows any DI or high Z input on your interface out of the water. And in my head I was thinking, yeah, sure, let me just pull that out of my closet, this, $2,000 preamp that I have laying around somewhere. And yeah, let me use that, absolutely. And the second comment that was left was something to the effect of, if you're too broke to afford your passion and not use real amps, you should just quit. And I couldn't stop laughing out loud when I read that comment. That just shows me there are a lot of guys out there that still have this elitist mentality that for whatever reason, real amplifiers are still gonna trump amp sims, even though amp sims, if you put them on a record, I guarantee you the audience couldn't distinguish between the real amp and an amp sim. Basically, I'm gonna debunk a little bit of that and just show you guys my setup, show you guys how extremely simple it is and how I get booked from clients all the time and I produce quality results for these guys, and no one has ever told me that, the mixes that they've received have been subpar, and they don't even know that I'm just strictly working with headphones and an interface. So let's get right to it. Okay, friends, so this is my extremely simple setup, and I'm gonna just kind of walk you through it. It's a bit of a mess now, but I can just kind of show you guys. So my studio is essentially in a studio flat. There's my kitchen here, my workstation here, and then my bed and my other stuff there, and then my bookshelf with all my business books and all that. So I'm really working with nothing crazy here, guys. I got my interface. I have my headphone amp, which you don't need because the interface comes with one, but I had a really good year, so I decided to gift myself a headphone preamp. My headphones, which are the Sennheiser, you can't see that, sorry about that, but they're the Sennheiser HD650s, which are pretty much very common nowadays for a lot of people mixing on headphones. And then my SM57B here, just because I've had it for years and I bought it a long time ago and it's just been with me ever since. Now you may be wondering, man, this guy's got a $400 microphone, his headphones are like $400, the interface that he's got is like $400, and the headphone amp is like $600. However, when I first started, I didn't really have any of this. I had like a really cheapo 2-channel one, and then I upgraded, and then I didn't even have this for many years. I just got this last year, and this really, I was using the headphone amp off of this interface for a couple years. In regards to the headphones, really guys, I think the most of your money should be spent on your headphones. And the reason is because those headphones are gonna be what you monitor 100% of the mix through. So I think if you guys are trying to get something very basic like I do, oh, and I also have a fader port here, forgot to mention that, but you don't need that either. You can, do all the stuff this does with just your keyboard and mouse, which is right here for me. But as I was saying about the headphones, guys, really should be where the budget is on a lot of this stuff here. Now, if you're trying to do a super budget where you got to do it for your desktop and then all this stuff here, you're gonna have to pick and choose where that is. But let's say you already have taken care of the computer, you've already taken care of the monitor and etc. Then now all you need is the software, the interface, and a pair of headphones. Again, get the cheapest interface that you need and then put the rest of the money right into the headphones. 99% of the time, your interface is gonna come with, some version of the software. So if you buy a Personas, they're gonna give you Studio One Artist, which is fantastic. The only difference between the Artist and the Pro version is that the Pro version has like the mastering page and all that, but a lot of times I don't even use that. I still do a lot of the mastering within the mixing page, so it doesn't really even matter. I can totally get away with just using Artist mode. But yeah, I really want to emphasize like that a lot of your budget should be spent on getting the nicest pair of headphones that you can, because the more accurate you have your monitoring system, the better the mixes are going to translate. So that's really my super simple setup, guys. I'm going to jump on the computer now and I'm going to just kind of show you guys some of the plugins I use for headphone correction. Everything else was hardware. Now here's the other piece of software, which is the last piece in the puzzle here that allows me to get great mixes at home with very little money. And for the final piece of my budget mixing setup is gonna be this piece of software called Real Phones. It is the best headphone correction software that I have found. I've tried quite a few. I've tried Waves NX, SonarWorks, and even the new one, which was Sound ID before they changed it from SonarWorks. And I liked SonarWorks out of the best, but then I got recommended this one a couple years ago by, I forgot what YouTuber it was, and then I saw David Nazi from Mix Plus TV make a video about it. So I gave it a go. I fell in love with it. I did a couple mixes with it, and I found that it was the best headphone correction software that I have yet to come across, and it gave me some of the best mixes I had done up to that point. So it's a really, really cool software. You basically can choose different like parameters, different setups, different speakers. You can even go so far like to change different headphone types and stuff, even different studios if you guys want to go ahead and get crazy like that. There's even cars that you can kind of check and stuff, which is super crazy cool. And then even earbuds, you know, from like iPods and whatever. Or iPhones. Excuse me, I sounded dated there for a second. But yeah, from iPhones. And this is way more useful than you might realize. I don't have to go to my car now to do a car check, or I don't have to check on different types of headphones or whatever. They even have like public spaces. They even have like laptops that I can try and stuff like that. So it's a really, really cool software. Now, is this totally necessary for your budget stuff? No. I did a bunch of mixes for years without any kind of correctional software. And then I started getting into that once they kind of started coming out. But, the problem is that I found with correctional software is that they always make the mixes sound muddy. I don't know what's up with that. And you are also missing the 3D aspect of mixing in a real studio. You're going to have some reflections regardless of what you do to the room treatment. Also, there's going to be that spatial imaging that you don't get from headphones that you can only really get from speakers. So real phones kind of covers both of these correctional issues, which is like the EQ curves and then like the 3D space rendering that comes with a real world application of a studio. So let me just quickly play you something here. I hope you guys can hear this. If you can't, I apologize, but I'm going to play with you guys a little bit of something that I'm working on with my new band, and then I'll go ahead and bypass and unbypass this so you guys can kind of hear what's happening here. Forewarning, this is only really going to be able to be heard if you guys are listening on headphones. If you guys are watching this on monitors or studio monitors, it's going to be a little bit harder for you guys to hear the effect. So I kind of hope you guys were able to hear that. It's really, really apparent if you guys are on headphones what it's doing. It makes it basically sound like you're sitting in front of a console with like a really good pair of monitors. So it's something to look into. Like I said, it's not totally necessary. If you guys strictly mix on headphones, it's all good. Buster Oldham from Humanity's Last Breath mixed many, many records with just a Sennheiser 650s, and I highly doubt he's using any kind of correctional software. So it's just something to keep in mind. If you guys want to kind of take your monitoring setup a little bit to the next level, you can get something up like this. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed making this kind of walkthrough for you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.